Welcome to Desert Garage. I'm your host, Richard. Today we had a gentleman get a hold of us about a van that he didn't know if it ran or drove. So he wanted me to come out here, take a look at it, and see if we can get it to run, at least run. Let's go ahead and take a tour of the van. It's a 1974 Chevrolet G30. And so let's go ahead and take a little walk around it. And it's really not in bad shape. I mean, for the most part. I mean, tires are blown out on it pretty bad, but I mean, it's got a lot of potential to it. It's got a big old rack on the roof, and I mean, even though it's filled with a lot of stuff, this thing has so much potential. I mean, reattach a few things up there, but I mean, this guy he buys a lot of stuff. So, yeah, he reached out to me because he don't have a lot of time to really mess with it. So I told him, yeah, I come out here, do a wheel run. We're in my town, Alamogordo, New Mexico. And, so yeah. It's not in bad shape at all. I mean, really, it's got a little, looks like a 350, points motor, hasn't been touched. Oh, it's a 20. It's not a 30. I thought it was a 30, but it's a 20. But still, it's got a 3/4 ton. It should have a 3/4 ton axle under it. But it's really not in bad shape. But it's going to be a challenge. But we're going to see what we can do for it. If we can get this thing running and driving, we'll be doing pretty good, or at least running. So let's go ahead and jump on in this thing and see what we can do. All right. Well, first of all, let's go ahead and take out this air cleaner here. Now, there's one thing I've realized about, especially about the old Chevrolets, is you cannot kill these things at all. These things are virtually indestructible. I mean, my Buick, if you've seen my channel, my Buick is a prime example of ones that sit for a long time and they still run. Oh man, she is pretty. Carburetor is pretty locked up. The choke ain't, but the carburetor itself is. Yeah, she's a little stuck. So we're gonna end up having to take and spray this down really good. There ain't no mice nest in it or anything like that. That's a good thing. But I think we might pull a couple of these plugs out and go ahead and look at them. We'll pull out. We've got a couple of wires that need to be kind of repaired. Mice have gone into it really bad. Coil, I mean, it's questionable, but it might still work. We just have to check the points on it, and yeah, we'll go from there. I mean, even if we don't get the carburetor unseized, if we can at least get it where it will pop off, that'll be great. Oh, let me get some tools together here. Now, I am not charging people to do this, so hope y'all don't think I am, because I'm really not. I am really doing this all on my own. I mean, I can't really afford to buy my own stuff to do revivals with right at the moment. But we're doing what we can, so. And my last revival I did not get it on camera because of the fact being that, well, it it took me like 10 minutes to get the car running, unfortunately. So we're gonna go ahead and set this down real quick, cleaner, and let that kind of penetrate on it a little bit. But yeah, the Buick, it didn't take much to get it going. Of course, you know, luckily I had electronic ignition, which there is a video gonna be dropping out on that pretty soon. So I'm gonna try for Monday or Tuesday. Depends on how fast I get this one dropped. So we are actually pulling, let's see, 2, 4, 6. We're pulling a number 6 spark plug out on it. And I mean, it's got moisture in the engine. There ain't no doubt about that. I don't know if y'all can see that, but there's like some green moss in there. But I mean, could be worse. We'll just kind of wire brush it a little bit. Try to get it cleaned up. These spark plugs are really, not in very good condition, unfortunately. I mean, it really don't take much to actually do. It don't take much to get one of these old vehicles kind of revived and waking up a little bit. I mean, just takes some general smarts and a little bit of know-how, but really not a lot. Pull out this back plug here, which should actually be number 8. Should be number 8. Of course, these plugs are not in the best of shape as far as trying to get a thread on them, get my socket on them. It's like kind of a challenge on its own. I couldn't get that. I couldn't get anything on that plug. Unfortunately, I couldn't. But these, where the socket goes on, they're pretty boogered up. Either that, or someone has really seriously taken and put different size plugs all in this thing, which I don't know if that's even possible. I've never seen it done, but I guess anything is possible. Dang, I'm gonna have to use a bigger one on that son of a gun. No, it's just it is really just the tread, the tread, where the socket goes on to, is just so badly gummed up with stuff. It's not being very nice at this moment, but thank God we got a hammer. There it goes. Whoop. Get back on there. Okay. See, we got a hammer. Everything gets threatened about a hammer really quick. I work on my own stuff all the time. I very seldom take anything into a mechanic, and I love the older stuff. Sometimes it kind of posts up as a challenge. That's AC Delco. Well, this thing I don't think is really going to do too good, to be honest with you. We'll see though. We got a NGK, we got a Delco in it. I have never had one where I could not get it to start, or at least pop off. So, I mean, it's gonna be a little bit of a challenge. These spark plugs. I don't know if you can see this, but whoop, there you go. Sorry, I'm still using a camera. There ain't much to that electrode, but maybe we can close that gap just a little bit, just see if it'll spark, and hopefully it will. That's closed. Yeah, that's closed down a little bit. I actually don't see any spark plugs laying around here. So we're just gonna try to clean these up just a little bit and just go from there. I mean, that's all we can really do. Like I said, I'm not getting paid to do this. I'm doing this on my own dime. And I don't plan on asking for money. Because really, money ain't the most important thing in the world. You know, so shoot, it don't even look like we got keys in this one either, unfortunately. But we really don't need keys. This doesn't have on the column, so really the only thing we need is just some juice. The battery is the newest looking thing on this truck at the moment, so really only thing we need is a little bit of juice to it, and we can juice up the coil with 12 volts and hit the starter and see what happens. But the way it's going, we are definitely going to have to pull a lot of these plugs out. Passenger side one is not going to be fun, unfortunately, but come on, get on there. Plugs here are not the greatest, and sorry if I'm hitting the phone. I've always been pretty successful in getting the old stuff running, unless the motors are gone. That's the only time, or if they're really stuck. Honestly, if this motor is stuck, we're probably not going to do a lot with it because, well, this motor don't look like it really got a lot of miles on it, but she definitely got some miles. What does the odometer say on there? Well, can't see the odometer. Oh, there it is. 74,000. That's what it looks like. I can almost bet it's probably 174,000. To be honest with you. I mean, we'll see. It may not be locked up, but judging from the moss that was in the one cylinder, I don't have a bore scope. So, judging from the moss in one of the in cylinder 2.6, it might have had moisture reaction in it. And she's been running, when she was running, she was running pretty rich. I mean, these plugs really are not the greatest thing. As I would kind of clean them up just a little bit. You know, that's the thing about being actual, being a budget YouTuber is, I mean, I don't have a lot of resources to really get down and put parts on these vehicles for people. So, yeah, that one looks a little bit better. I just don't have the resources to be able to put parts on these vehicles and, and do it up like that. So, we have to really do what we can. The gentleman that actually called me on this, he's an acquaintance. I mean, he's a good person. He actually has a local mechanic shop, but he is like really busy. So that's why he ended up calling me. He's just, his life is so busy right now, and he's helped put together a church. He's pastor with a church and everything. So, he just, hey, give me my damn tool back. But yeah, he just leads a very busy life. So I don't mind coming out and doing stuff like this. I love getting my hands dirty. Well, I'll be danged. This thing is being very, very stubborn. It won't give me my damn socket back. Please, give me my freaking socket back. What the hell's wrong with you? Thank you. I be dipped. Well, yeah, that's gonna be fun. I should have known better. One of the plugs was cracked. One of the spark plugs was cracked, and I saw it. And when I went to get my socket off it, it broke off the rest of the way. Fun. So, damn it. Yeah, it sucks, but, oh, we have an ignition switch. Just got to use the universal key. I mean, I really don't think this thing's going to start, to be honest with you. I mean, I really don't. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking it could very well possibly be locked up. Let's see. Oh man, there is not a drip of oil in this engine. Okay, well, we already know what the fate of this thing already is right at this moment. But we'll kind of leave this as a how-to, for all you people that really that feel kind of threatened, to work on this older stuff, You know, it's really not that bad to work on this stuff. I mean, honestly, it's really not. You know, like I said, you go through, you check your plugs, you clean them if you have to, and if you need to, throw in another set of plugs. I mean, they really ain't that expensive, you know. Get the cheap ones for $2 a piece, or you see Delcos for about $2.50. So I mean, they ain't too terribly bad. But yeah, this motor is, I'll tell you right now, this motor is not going to turn. There is not a drop of oil in it. I mean, there's like literally, see, there is nothing on this, and I can't make this up. So yeah, you always want to check your plugs, make sure they're good. Like I said, this is not going to be, I doubt if this thing will turn over. We might see we hunt down maybe a little bit of oil for it, at least a couple quarts. Let's go ahead and pull the transmission dipstick out. And I mean, the transmission dipstick, I mean, it looks okay. It's dark. Oh, and it's burnt, but I mean, it's full. So it might be, the transmission dipstick, the transmission fluid might be fine. You know, it definitely needs a change. This is our old electric, an old vehicle from an electric company that used to be in business. I don't know if they still are, but they used to be in business. And oh, we got brakes. And so this thing is definitely been around for a long time. So I'm gonna go back over here. We're gonna see when we pull the number 8 spark plug out. And if nothing else, you know, I can at least give you a pretty good how-to, you know, on how to do this stuff, because I mean, it really, honestly, I mean, it's really not that difficult to work on these. I know a lot of people do get kind of threatened, you know, when it comes to especially carbureted stuff, you know. And I mean, the carburetors really ain't that hard. They're not that hard to work on. I mean, honestly, I've taught myself on how to work on carburetors. I've made mistakes, and you know, but that's what life's about. You know, we're gonna make mistakes. But you know, to be able to, yeah, I don't know if y'all can see this. I'm gonna try to get y'all to see this. But you see how close that is to it? Okay. More than likely, because these are AC Delcos, and this is the second one I found like this. For some reason, the piston is hitting. It looks like the piston is hitting the electrode on this when it's turning over. For whatever reason, it's doing that. I've never have understood all that, but that's what it appears to be. So, the only thing you gotta do is just bend that electrode back up. You know, if you want to go as far as gapping them to kind of, you know, get something on there, you can. But me, when they're like this, I just bring it up just a hair off of it when it's that close to touching it. And even if it was to get this motor unlodged, you know, it'll fire up. I mean, that way. I've had locked up motors before. I mean, if this was actually mine, I'd probably sit here, pull all the plugs out, If this motor was mine, I'd pull all the spark plugs out of it, dump some ATF and a little bit of diesel down the cylinders, let that sit there and soak on it a good little bit, and then take and go from there and see if we can get it to break loose. And then that one didn't break. How about that? And then go from there, you know, and get the, you know, soak carburetor down real good. Get that to free up. I mean, it's trying with just a carburetor cleaner. I mean, it is really trying. We might go ahead and pull that off, but I mean, we're not going to stick a lot in here, a lot of time in here, because I mean, this motor's pretty well gone. But let's go ahead and we're going to open up this distributor cap, because this does have points. So we're going to go ahead and pull this off and see what these points look like. So yeah, the rotor button's seen better days. I mean, yeah, it doesn't, the vacuum advance. I mean, we don't know. Let's see if that will work. These things, well, shit. Yeah. These things, if you take and you blow on it. See, that vacuum advance ain't doing nothing either. Normally you can get the vacuum advance to click back and forth because it's vacuum operated. So you can get them to move back and forth a little bit there, and you know, by sucking on the, or no, blowing on it, or no, yeah, sucking. Wait, is that sucking or blowing? Well, either way, you can get them to move by hand if you take and, it's either you suck on it or you blow on it or some, I don't know. I don't remember. It's been so long since I worked on anything with points. My 77 Buick has an electric, has a HEI in it, so I don't have to worry about that. The only thing I've got to do, I gotta really do the timing on it though, because it's just a few degrees off. Okay, these are for the vacuum advance. These little wings up here, I'm hoping y'all can see them. Let me bring y'all in. Yeah, this is what controls your vacuum advance, and these are like they're like really sloppy. This is really stiff. This should go click, and then these would move out. And whoops, sorry about that. And these would move out when you click it, and they're really not doing that. So I mean, to be very honest with you, it has seen better days. This is not gonna be this was gonna be a wheel run, but yeah, it's not gonna. I'll tell you right now, she's not gonna run. The points don't look too bad on it, actually. I mean, they're a little bit, you know, goofed up on it, but I mean, they don't have a lot of stuff on there. I normally try to take a sandpaper, and clean them up, but they're really not that bad. I've seen a lot worse. But as far as like the vacuum advance goes on this thing, that's not going to work. And I really doubt it's going to turn over. I mean, I like to think that maybe it would, but it's clear it's not. So once you go through your points, yeah, sometimes you may have to reset them, reset the gap on them, but a lot of times, I mean, you figure the thing was running, well, from the way it looks, probably about 10, 15, maybe 20 years ago. So they were running when they were parked. So you're just going to have just some buildup on them. So if you just clean that off, a lot of times your point gap really don't move. Now, I mean, I have went through and checked point gaps before just to make sure, and you can do that. I mean, it only takes a minute, get you a feeler gauge or heck, even a matchbook. But yeah, this one, I mean, this truck is not going to be, it will run. I mean, like I said, I would honestly, god damn it, if it was mine, I mean, I would honestly really throw some ATF and diesel down her and see, it takes a little bit to be able to break an engine free. But as soon as I saw that moss on that spark plug, I knew she was going to probably be screwed up. And then I checked the oil on it, and yeah, she's definitely seen some bad days. Oh, not 74,000 miles. The odometer says 67,000 miles on it. But I'm really thinking that's probably 164 or 167,000 or maybe even 200. I mean, it's really hard to say with this engine. I was trying to get these to kind of unstick a little bit more though. But kind of just spray some more of this carburetor cleaner on here. Like if you ever get your hands on a carburetor that is seized up, the best thing is take it off and go over it that way. Or a lot of times, like you spend some, put some PB blaster on it. That's good stuff. You can take and get it to break free. It takes a little bit, to sit there and kind of, chew on it a little bit, but it will break free that way. I mean, the clutch on it, the choke, the choke is already, it moves just fine. So, check the finger. Yeah, this is a 350 and not a 305. So, we might go ahead and pull one more plug out, just kind of see maybe what they look like, but yeah, this poor old thing, I mean, she's not gonna be moving under her own power anytime soon, and that is really a shame that she's not. But but at least y'all can sit here and learn a little bit of something, damn, I hate these spark plugs. These ain't even the right spark plugs for this truck. The way they're smashed down and everything, I can tell you right now, they're not the right spark plugs for it. Someone's just kind of throwing some in there. Oh, well, this will get it running or keep it going a little while longer, and it will until it smashes the electrode down. Then you gotta re-pull them, do it all over again. But yeah, she's I normally don't give up on vehicles, so easy, because I mean, I like to revive stuff and see if we can make stuff run. But like I said, if it was mine, I would throw some diesel and ATF down every cylinder and let it soak for like a week. That is actually the best bet. But I mean, this motor's, I mean, unfortunately, this motor's pretty well gone. With no oil in it, it's probably ran without no oil at one time. I'm actually putting the spark plugs back in so we keep any unwanted moisture out of the engine, but I can almost guarantee this thing's probably had a head gasket blow on it. You know, and that's why the moss, oh yeah, she's got moisture. I'm gonna see if I can get y'all in and look at this a little bit closer. But I don't know if y'all can see this, but this is all rust. So yeah, it's all rust. She is definitely, yeah, she's definitely done for. Unfortunately, man, that's a shame too. When there's rust on top of the plugs like that, it means one of two things. Oh, excuse me, shoot. When there's that much rust on the plug, on the inside of it, it's probably blew a head gasket at one time. Before it was parked. I mean, it was parked for a reason. I didn't find a lot of oil on a lot of the spark plugs yet. I mean, they were black, but it was carbon. So, I mean, that's actually kind of a good sign. But once you get moisture in there, I mean, I'm almost betting this thing's going to need new head gaskets. The whole motor is just going to have to be torn down and rebuilt from scratch, because yeah, these are definitely going to be, this motor's going to be stuck. There ain't no getting by that, unfortunately. And, you know, I said, whether it's not mine, so, you know, I can't really, you know, sit here and do a lot with it. I mean, I told the guy I'd try to see if we could get it running. And once I discovered what I did, then I was like, well, this went from a will it run to shit, will it even turn over? I mean, I bet it doesn't even turn over. I would just bump it over to see if it would, you know, with it not having no oil in it at all. But I bet she's an oil burner and she blew a head gasket. And she at least has a blown head gasket. But, you know, there's a reason why. There's actually a good reason why it does not have oil in it. And either it's leaked it all out or it's blown it out. And the top of this engine really doesn't look that bad. Like I said, the guy didn't know if it was seized up or not. Because I did ask him a little bit about the engine, and he's, I don't know nothing about it. Don't have a lot of time to know anything about it. You know, so understandable. Come on, give me my socket back. I think it's gonna keep my socket for me. No, don't keep my socket. Give it back. But I mean, this is what you take your chance with. When you pick up old stuff, you know, that's been sitting since the dawn of time. And I mean, this one looks like it's been sitting even on this guy's property. It looks like it's been sitting for a good minute, so it ain't gonna give me it won't give me my stuff back. Give me my spark plug sack back, you jackass. I kind of need that. Hello. I Oh, and I think that one might have just broke it. Yep. Damn it. Well, that's kind of chance to take. That happens. So, the newest part of this whole truck is the transmission, really. I mean, I bet it'll work. But, yeah, it's definitely going to need a new engine. We're still going to throw some cables on it and see if it'll turn over. I mean, it might not. But we might check it out. Do a little fire test on there, see if she burns down to the ground or not. The old van's really not in bad shape. It'd actually be kind of worth getting it going. You know, maybe throw in another motor. Get rid of this 2-barrel carburetor, especially. 2-barrel carburetors ain't the best in the world. But, yeah, this thing. We're going to go throw some cables on it just to bump it over real quick, just to see what it does. But I've almost bet she's locked up tighter than a drum. So, we'll be right back. Okay. Now let's see if that phone goes back into focus. I do got cables hooked up to it. Hey, the windshield wipers work. Oh yeah, she's locked. She is locked up. I kind of thought she was. I don't know if you can hear that. But yeah. What in the tarnations is going on? Hi, wipers. Thank you. But yeah, she's locked up. She's tight. Yeah. So, I will be right back. Alright. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw her all back together. Unfortunately, this is one of these that will it run? No, it will not. So don't forget, hit the like, subscribe, comment if you want, share any of the videos. I'm new, so I'm trying to get as many subscribers and views as possible. I will be back with the Buick hopefully in a couple days. So with that, I'm going to end this. Hope you all have a good day. Bye.